Hello and welcome back to The Wandering Wind. Today I want to talk about something that's currently in the headlines, and that is the release of the former Carolina Panthers wide receiver Rae Carruth, who in 2001 was convicted of conspiring to commit murder related to the shooting death of his girlfriend at the time, Sharika Adams, who was pregnant. Carruth devised a plot to kill Sharika Adams during a November 1999 shooting. Adams died about a month later. He was obviously put in jail for a period of time, but he's now on a 9-month post-release program. And according to a phone interview from last week, he says he just wants to be forgiven, but then he's somewhat frightened about his release, adding that he's nervous about how he'll be received. He still has to work, live, and exist outside in the real world, and he's just afraid about the amount of negativity and hate towards him. And to be honest, I do agree this is an issue because for a lot of convicted felons and convicted criminals of any kind, reintegration is often an exercise in futility, mainly because of the local people's sentiment toward him. It may not be any fault of their own, but because of the fact that there is a negative sentiment towards the person for their past crimes, their reintegration can oftentimes be a complete failure, not of their own fault, but just because of being under circumstances out of their control. That being said, I do think that there should be some sort of a set communities that former felons are allowed to move into that are not going to be as hostile towards the felons because they're mainly just all felons, all willing to get better, all willing to become productive members of society. And that might just be my personal opinion, but I do think that this would be a great idea. I think the correctional system needs an update. We're not back in the 1800s where the only form of recourse for an offender was to lock them away and then let the crowd mentality take care of them after they were released, or just leaving them in there because nothing else could be done for them. I do feel there is a chance for even the worst ex-cons to make themselves useful to society in a way that does not obstruct their right to be free or others' right to feel safe, because it's a big world out there. And it can be a scary world out there, but I also believe that it can be a bright and productive and promising world if we just allow it to be and we help it to be. So, this has just been my thoughts, my opinions, my take on this particular issue. What do you guys think? What are your ideas? What are your personal takeaways from this? Do you think that it's important that we understand the plight of the offender and the offended? Or do you think that the offender doesn't really matter and that the only people that should be taken care of are the victims in the crime? I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love to know your opinions. I'd love to get a bit of a chance to pick you all's brain because, to be honest, it's kind of interesting to do so on a regular basis. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And until next time, I love you very much. Have a good one.